Oh dear.
No, are we on?
Yes.
Max says, hi Louise. Hello, yes, I said your name, didn't I? I did. Hi Louise, hi Alison, hi Wednesday, hi Janelle, hi Elaine. Yeah, it's been raining here as well. We've got a flipping leak in the conservatory again. Hi Tracy, hi Doris. Yeah, Max has got one.
We've walked out the room for 30 seconds.
Yeah, I went to put the cutting guide, which was printed out wrong, and I come back and Max has taken over. What are you doing there, Jill? Just down the road.
Down the road, yeah.
I know. She's on holiday in Scotland.
Oh.
You're a bit early for the weekend. So yeah, unfortunately, class is kind of cancelled because you know Max. Yes, you fluff monster. So yeah, it kind of makes it a bit difficult to do stuff. You're huge, aren't you? You're Mr. Fluff. He needs his eye washing. Right, so I was going to do page 6 tonight because if you remember, we're working backwards down the. Well, thank you, Max. You just show it up the back of your throat. Good lad. Are you tired? Get the pencil out. Well, I haven't got that pencil anymore. But I have got something. What about this pencil? Choose pencil. Yeah, so I was going to do page 6, but actually, until Max moves, we can't really do a great deal. But we can do the draw for the mini of the month for July, which was my all-time favourite book. Hi, Tracy. Office Hours. And you disappointed me, people. All I'm going to say, hey, Vicky, 4 of you put those up. Oh, for goodness sake, Louise, you might have said, no, it's literally just down the road. Yes, he's going to have to, Janelle. So, yeah, so we only had 4 entries for the mini of the month, which is very, very, very disappointing, I have to say. So I'm going to let Max choose. So here are the, can I just have my stuff back? Thank you. I'm going to let Max choose. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So can you pick one up, Maxie? Who's going to win? Which one? Okay, Max is trying to bite this one. Is this the one that you want? Which one do you want? You want the pencil. It looks like number 3's one. Oh, you can't see because it's the top of his head. He keeps trying to eat this one. So is this the winner, Max? Yeah, this is the winner. So the winner of the Office Hours Book of the Month for what month? July. Max. Who's this? Maxie. Da, 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 da. Carolyn. Well done. So Carolyn's won, and I must admit, I do remember yours, Carolyn, because it's gorgeous. You used Simple Stories, didn't you? And it was an absolute beauty. No, please don't encourage him anymore. So congrats, Carolyn. I will pop that in the post to you probably tomorrow. Or it might be tomorrow, it might be Friday, we'll see. Don't give him a whole one. You've given him a whole one. He was going to leave. Hi, Ellie. Oh, are you making this, Nikki? Which papers are you using? Oh, no. Are you all right, Ellie? That's bad. Could you persuade Max to leave? Now you've given it. Look here. Go and take this to Dad. Here. Can you? I don't like moving him. It's just cruel. He won't come back if I move him. Will you, beautiful boy? Go to Daddy. Go on. Always going if you know free will.
Run away.
Excellent. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going backwards. So we're going back to page 6. So if you remember, well, this is page 7, which is actually the inside back cover, and that's what we did last week. Well, tonight we're going to do this one, which is the previous page. So this is getting a little bit, this is quite, I don't know how well this is going to show up, but basically this page has got 2 big flaps, okay? So it's got 2 big flaps, and on the front we've got this slanted pocket, which has got 2 photo mats in it, okay? And then on this side we've got 2 more sort of like little pockets, and they've got these folded photo mats in. So there's one there and one there. So that's that one. And then inside here, we've got this vertical pocket, which has got a big photo mat in it. Now, in the Savannah one, in the Savannah papers, you get this nice big square of images, which you don't get in Magic Forest. So I haven't put any of the like sizes of photo mats for that, because it's kind of irrelevant in one way. So that goes in there, and then this flap, what we've got 2 pockets here, and these both have photo mats in as well, and they're these folded ones that we've got. So we've got those in there. Open that up, and it's actually a mirror image of this side. So that side and that side, and you've got that photo mat in there with, as I said, another one of those squares. And then on the back, what we've got are these 2 pockets which kind of mirror these 2 here, and then we've got photo mats in there that just, you know, they're quite tall and they fold over at the top. Now, once again, I'm going to do what I did last week. I'm going to cut my photo mats out, but I'm actually not going to decorate those until the very end. So that's the plan. So let me fold that up, and let me see if I can find. I've tidied up, which means that the chances of me finding what I was working on last week is slim to 0. Oh, okay, that wasn't too hard. So this is what we did last week. Okay, so I've got my, that's going to fold around the front, and then that's my insert that goes on there, and then I've got those photo mats, but I'm going to be, as I said, doing those at the end. So what we're going to do now is the page that fits on here, but it's going to be the back of that page. So this is page 6, which is the back. So if I get one of my base pages, for me, the back, the bit with the flaps is the back of the page. So I'm going to work on my flapped side, which means that my opening on the base page is to the right. Oh, Norma, are you coming this way?
You want to answer Tracy?
Tracy, is it 3 times background packs and 2 main packs? Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, 3. No, the other way round. Actually, it doesn't really matter that much, but yeah, the other way round. It's 3 main packs and 2 background packs. So yeah. Well, that's good news, Ali. I'm glad. I'll drop you a line when we're done, and you can tell me all about it. Okay, right. So now what I know I haven't got is cardstock, which is what I really desperately need this week. So that's going to go down well. And I know I didn't find any when I tidied up. I've got some bits here. These were from something else. How thick is that? No, that's the thick stuff. Oh, this is all the thick stuff. At one point, I had a big box absolutely full of black cardstock. I have no idea where it is. I might have to run downstairs and get some. This is all thick stuff. Hold on, let me look. Oh, what's that? Yes, it's all right. Disaster over. I've found some.
Second week back up.
Yeah. I've got so many books on the go at the moment. Oh, right. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to... Oh, no. Do you want to see what I've been doing today? Oops. I'm going to give you a quick flash. But that was today's job. Look, I'm going to call this fox Ellie, and then it's Ellie Fox. I know, that's funny, isn't it?
Oh, no.
I know. Right, okay, so my cutting guide, which I have no idea where it is. Never mind. Okay, right, so let's start off. We're going to cut the flaps now. The flaps are the same size, but what I will say is that they've got two different size gussets on them, okay? So even though this flap, this area here, is the same as that area there, this has a 1/4 of an inch gusset. Yes, Tracy, you've been on my mind all day for that very reason. This one has an 1/8 of an inch gusset because we don't need as thick a gusset on this side because that folds under first than we do on this side. So just to warn you, there is a slight difference in the size, even though the actual flaps are the same size. I think that kind of makes sense. Right, so we're going to cut one at 9 3/4. So one at 9 3/4 by 7 1/4. 7 1/4 is the height of the book, okay? So 7 1/4. Now the other flap, which is the one that goes on the right hand side, is 9 5/8 of an inch by 7 1/4. So it's an 1/8 of an inch smaller. So here that is going to be, that's my 9 3/4, but 9 5/8 is 1/8 of an inch smaller. Okay, so just a little bit by 7 1/4. Okay, so I think we might as well just cut a little bit more. Oh, I can't spell inch. We might as well just cut a little bit more because that's just too little to do. So we're going to cut 2 at 5 3/4 by 4 inches. So 2 at 5 3/4 by 4. And then 2 at 4 by 8 1/4. So 8 1/4 is this width if you're using my cardstock, because British A4 is 8 1/4 wide. So we're going to cut 2 at 4 by 8 1/4. Okay, I want you to cut 2 at 5 1/2 by 4. So that's 2 at 5 1/2 by 4. And then 2 at 5 1/2 by 7 3/4. So that's 1. Where am I? Yeah. 1 at 5 1/2 by 7 3/4. And then finally 2 at 4 by 4 5/8. Now 4 and 5/8 is 4 1/2 plus an 8. I have to swap these over. So what did I say? 2 at 4 by 4 5/8. Okay. Right. So we'll get rid of our trimmers. I know. Well, yes, there is, but yes and no. Right. Okay. So scoreboard. Right. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the 9 3/4 by 7 1/4 inch piece. Okay. And we're going to score on the 9 3/4 inch side. So 9 3/4 at the top. And I want you to score at 1/2 inch. And I want you to score at 3/4 inch. What are you doing moaning about fussy cutting now? Do you know what, Lorraine? I feel the same way, except today I've actually come to quite enjoy it. I've had a film on and I've just been sat fussy cutting. What have I watched today? Oh my goodness, an incredibly sad film that was kind of happy as well. Well, no, it was just really, I don't know, emotional probably is the word. And it said that it was a comedy and it flipping wasn't, and it was called Empire of Light, and it's got Olivia Colman in it, who I love. Worth a watch. All right, so we've got that 1/4 inch gusset on there. Now the other one that we cut was slightly smaller, if you remember. It was 1/8 inch smaller. So this is 9 5/8 inch by 7 1/4. No, that was right. Yeah. And then the next one, we're going to score on the 9 5/8 inch side at 1/2 inch and 5/8 inch. So instead of our 1/4 inch gusset, we've got half of that, which is 1/8 inch. Okay, so that's got a slightly smaller gusset. All right. Yes, gussets of all sizes. We do not discriminate here. Okay, so then we cut 2 at 5 3/4. That's not it. Did we cut those? 5 3/4 by 4?
Yeah.
We did.
You might not.
Oh yeah, okay. So we cut 2 at 5 3/4 by 4, and we're going to score on the 5 3/4 inch side. It hasn't got an X in it like I've written it. And we're going to score at 1/2 inch, 5 1/4 inches, and then we're going to turn it round and we're going to score on the 4 inch side at 1/2 inch. So this is just a simple pocket, okay? So we're going to score on the 5 3/4 inch side at 1/2 inch, 5 1/4, and then on the 4 inch side at 1/2 inch. Okay. Then we've got 2 that are 4 by 8 1/4 inches. So these big ones, okay? Hold on. So we're going to score on the 4 inch side at 1/2 inch, and then the 8 1/4 inch side at 1/2 inch, and 7 3/4 inch. Is that what I've written? Oh, good. Wow. All right, so this is another simple pocket. So we're going to score on the 4-inch side at 1/2 inch, and we're scoring on the 8 1/4 inch side at 1/2 inch and 7 3/4 inches. Okay. Then we've got 2 at 5 1/2 by 4. Okay. So we're going to score on the 5 1/2 inch side at 1/2 inch, at 5 inches, and then we're going to score on the 4-inch side at 1/2 inch, and that's the same on both. So you're scoring on the 5 1/2 inch side at 1/2 inch and at 5 inches, and then you're going to score on the 4-inch side at 1/2 inch. Another simple pocket, which means, am I missing one? Oh no, here we go. We've got this one, which is 5 1/2 by 7 3/4. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to score on 2 sides at 1/2 inch so that the score lines intersect. So I'm going to score a 1/2 inch on that side and 1/2 inch on that side. Okay, so if you're going to, it doesn't matter which 2 you score, so long as you've got this intersection here. Okay. Then the final bits, which were 4 by 4 and 5/8, I want you to score on the 4-inch side at 1/2 inch, and then I want you to score on the 4 and 5/8 inch side at 1/2 inch and at 4 and 1/8 of an inch. So score on the 4-inch side at 1/2 inch and the 4 and 5/8 inch side at 1/2 inch and 4 and 1/8 of an inch. Okay. That's the worst done. That's a good idea. Yes. All right, so I think what we'll do is we're going to take this slowly and we're going to start with the flaps. So this is the one that's got the 1/4 inch gusset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold on those gussets so that I'm going to have a flap with that 1/4 inch there. And I'm just going to burnish. So I've got a nice sharp crease. Okay. So that's got a nice sharp crease like that. We've got that little gusset there. Then this tiny gusset, we're going to do exactly the same. So we're going to fold on the score line, burnish it, and then fold on the second score line. I really should have scored a little better than this. Like that. Burnish. So here we've got another gusset, but it's just a little one. It's basically half the size of this one. Okay. So if you grab your base page, which we made the first week we started on the folio part of this project, okay, and I'm going to have my opening to the right hand side. Okay, I'm going to take, this is the flap with the narrow gusset. I'm going to just pop some glue on there, and we all know my glue is going to be bunged up. Hold on, just unbung my glue. So let's put some glue onto that flap. This is the narrow gusset. This is the 1/8 inch gusset. Okay, and I'm going to place this on the right hand edge over here. So this is going directly above the opening. Okay, and it'll fit top to bottom. Okay, and then I've got my little gusset like that. Okay, so that fits on there like that, and I've got my opening over here. Okay. Right. So the other one, which has got the deeper gusset, I'm going to again put some glue onto that flap there. I dread to think what the temperature in here is. Oh, I've got my little thing, haven't I?
It's 27 degrees.
It feels hotter.
Yeah, 53% humidity.
I would explain the curly hair. Oh, this is driving me nuts.
What's that then?
My glue. All right, then this is going to go on the left-hand side. So the deeper gusset goes on the left-hand side. Let's line it up. So that's going to fold in there like that, and that's going to fold on there like that. Okay? Right. Okay, so we might as well work from the inside out. So if you open this up, what we've got on the back here are two small pockets. So let me just work out which ones they are, because I have absolutely no idea. I think it's those two. No. I think it's those two. Yep. So this is, we're going to work now on the two pockets that are, what the heck size is that? Oh, 5 3/4 by 4. So if you grab the two pieces that are 5 3/4 by 4, then just kinky miter this corner, get rid of those squares like that. Okay. And let's fold on those score lines. And burnish. And then these are going to fit side by side in between our gussets. Oh, that's not right, is it? Is that the right one? Or can I not count? Oops. Are those the right ones? Hang on, let me just measure it. I knew this was too good to be true. Where's my ruler just gone?
Oh,
there it is.
Oh, there it says evening.
4 3/4, so that's 5 3/4, so that's right. What have I done wrong? Is that not the right piece? Or have I not measured it right? No, that's right. What's going on here? I think I might be using a page from the wrong book. I wonder if I am. Because I did make some more like this. Hang on, let me just see what I've done. know. I told you I've got about 5 books on the go, and I just shoved everything into what I thought was the right bag, and I didn't know that it was. Have we made almost too long? 9 3/4. You might have to cut these down. No, that's right. 10. What the heck is going on here?
I think heat.
I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand this at all. Right, so that's the right size. Have I somehow... No. That's right. I genuinely do not understand what's going on here. That is 4 3/4. This doesn't make any sense. I don't even know where to go from here because that's 10 inches. Yes. So why is that only 4 3/4? Because it should be 5, shouldn't it? But it's 4 3/4. Look, 4 3/4. I don't understand. How can that only be 4 3/4 if that's 10?
Just talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
But it just doesn't make any sense at all. 4 3/4. But it should be 5, shouldn't it? That's definitely 10.
That's the end.
10.
Looks 10 to me.
No, but no, it's not. That's impossible because that is 10 inches. Look. 10 inches. So I don't even understand. There is no logical reason for that. I just don't understand how that can possibly. I think we've just broken the rules of physics.
You have.
Do you know, I can't even explain that. I can't explain it. So I'm just going to cut these again because that makes 0 sense to me. So what was the size of that top one? I'm going to change this because this just doesn't make any sense. So we're gonna cut it at 6 by 4 inches. So cut 2 at 6 by 4. I don't even understand. So that first one, which I had down at 5 3/4 by 4, which is absolutely right according to my book, absolutely right. I'm now going to change it, so I'm cutting 2 at 6 by 4, not 5 3/4. And if anybody can explain to me what the heck is going on, I would be really grateful because this makes 0 sense. Right. So I've changed it to 6 by 4. So I'm going to score on the 4-inch side at 1/2 inch and the 6-inch side at 1/2 inch and 5 1/2. So I'm scoring on the 4-inch side at 1/2 inch and the 6-inch side at 1/2 inch and 5 1/2 inches. Right. Stupid but I just don't, I cannot get my head around that. Right, so let's do exactly what we just did again. So I'm just going to kinky miter those corners. And if this doesn't fit, I'm just going to go to bed. Hi, Mary. Right. Burnish that. Let's see if this fits. Right, let's open that up again.
Trish says hello. She's finished up an adventure away.
Oh, well done. Okay, that fits, but it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. So these pockets are going to go on the very back, underneath the flaps, and they fit, ha ha ha, exactly side to, side to side, in between the gussets, and they are flush with the bottom of the page. Okay, so that's going to go next to it. Oh, something really might go here. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? Oh, I give up. I'm going to bed. Okay, so those in theory should fit right next to each other on the back of the page. Okay, so then you've got those two that go over like that. Now this side and this side are actually identical to each other, and that's the long ones. These, let's just make sure they fit. Oh, miraculously, yes, they do. So these are the pieces that were 4 by 8 1/4. So we're gonna miter those squares off there. And then I'm going to fold on the score lines and burnish. And then let's just see where I put them. We're going to go on, we're going to put these on. So they're going to go on the nearest to the gusset side. So if I open this up here, that one's going to go there like that with the opening pointing to the left. And then the one on the right is going there with the opening pointing to the right. So some glue on those flaps. And let's pop that to the side of the gusset. And that will fit top to bottom on the left-hand side. And then this one is going to fit over here on the right-hand side. Yeah, I was saying about the rain here, Trish. We had a leak in the conservatory. Luckily, where it leaked, it used to be somewhere I used to keep some paper, so I'm really glad that I moved it. All right, so this is going to go over the right-hand side, on the right-hand side of the gusset, and that's going to fit top to bottom with the opening pointing to the right. Okay. All right, so there we go. So that's working now. So I've got those two pieces like that. Okay, now this, so this is the top of the right-hand piece. This has two pockets, and these, I think these, which one are these? 5.5 by 4. Yeah, these are 5.5 by 4. So I'm going to miter that corner. Okay. And then I'm going to fold and burnish. And then these two are going to fit. So this is the flap on the right-hand side. These, in theory, should fit at the bottom next to each other, like that. Oh, miracle of miracles. Like that on the front. So actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put that like that because it's a bit easier for me to work with. So let's put some glue. Put that at the bottom, nice and square. So it's got the pocket opening at the top.
Mine says it's pouring down there, and one of the passengers coming looking like a hedgehog.
Oh dear. We haven't quite got that problem, have we? So that's on the other side. So those go next to each other like that, okay? And that's going to be that side like that, which means that all we've got to do here is the front. So what we've got is we've got that slanted pocket that goes in there, and then we've got these two smaller pockets. So I'm going to just mitre that and that. And let's fold on those and burnish. Now these were an odd size, I know they were, and there is a reason for that, because our page is 7¼ inches tall. So if we're going to put two of these in, they've got to be 3 5/8 of an inch wide if they're going to fit on. So these are going to fit on the front flap, one there like that, and one there like that. Okay, so they fit on exactly, but they're going to have the opening pointing towards that wide gusset that we made earlier. Okay. So let's glue that on the bottom there. Okay, so it'll fit flush with the side and the bottom, but the opening is here. The opening points away from the edge of the flap. And this one is going to fit exactly on top. Like that. Okay. All right, so that's the front. Now this piece, this is going to be the slanted pocket that's going to go on this corner here. So if you kinky mitre that bit off, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get a ruler and a pencil. Where's my Max pencil? There it is. And I'm going to measure in 2½ inches. So if you can see this at the moment, let me move this stuff. If you can see this is how it's going to go on the page, okay? So this is where the score line's intersected down here, okay? And I've measured in 2½ inches from the edge of the page up there. And then I'm going to measure in 2½ inches from the bottom there, okay? So I've got 2 pencil marks on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my trimmer and I'm going to cut in between those score lines, in between those pencil lines, which I probably can't see now. Oh, hold on, let me see. Okay. So I'm going to slip that off like that, okay? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold on those score lines like that. Burnish. Okay, and then this is going to fit on there like that, and it'll fit exactly top to bottom. It's going to give you a little gap here, not a big one, just a little one. Okay. Let's pop that on there. So this is going to the side of the gusset. So it sits on the front like that. Okay. So on the front here, what we've got is our slanted pocket. We've got these 2 pockets. On this one, we've got 2 pockets together. Then on either side, we've got these two vertical pockets and then two pockets next to each other in the middle. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut out my photo mats. And actually, that's the bit that I'm missing on my printout. But I've got some of them. Right, so we're going to start off with the two that go in the middle at the back page. And they're 4.5 by 9.25. So 4.5 by 9.25. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Right, so 2 at 4.5 by 9.25. Hi, Vicky. Vicky. Oh, Vicky. So 4.5 by 9.25. Okay, let's put those to one side. And then 2 at 8 by 6.75. 2 at 8 by 6.75. Okay, so 2 at 8 by 6.75. 2 at 4 by 9.25. Is that right? Yeah, 2 at 4 by 9.25. So 2 at 4 by 9.25. Okay. And then I've run out of measurements. What comes next?
1 at 5 by 6.75.
1 at what?
5 by 6.75.
So 1 at 5 by 6.75. So 1 at 5 by 6.75. Okay. 1 at 4 by 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 at 7.5 by 3 3/8.
So 2 at 7.5 by 3 3/8. That's the last one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so you're going to need your scoreboard because a lot of these have got those little flaps on the top, which are useful for nothing other than decoration. So we've got the first two, which were 4.5 by 9.25. And we're going to score on the 9.25 inch side. So put 9.25 at the top. We're going to score at 2.25. I can't see. 2.25. Is that 2.25? I can't see a damn. 2.25 there. Okay, so 2.25. Okay. Then we've got 2 at 8 by 6.75, and I'm pretty certain they don't need scoring. No, so they don't need scoring. Then we've got 2 at 4 by 9 1/4. I'm going to score on the 9 1/4 inch side, 2 1/4, and that's the same on both. So you're scoring on the 9 1/4 inch side at 2 1/4. Then you've got, I don't know what size this is. 5 by 6 3/4. That's not being scored, and neither is the 6 by 4, which means the final two got, which are 7 1/2 by, you what? 3 3/8. We're going to score on the 7 1/2 inch side at 3 3/4. Yeah, at 3 3/4. Okay. So score on the 7 1/2 inch side at 3 3/4, which actually just happens to be exactly halfway. So all we're going to do now is we're going to take these photo mats or inserts, whatever you want to call them, and we're going to fold on each of the score lines, and we're just going to burnish. So we've got some nice, good, sharp creases. Okay. Okay. So if you want to grab what we've just made, let's start off in the middle. Now these first two that were 4 1/2 by 9 1/4, one is going to slip into that side like that, and one is going to slip into that side like that. If you have to put it down like I have. There we go. There we go. Love it when it gets stuck on the glue. Okay. Then these two that we didn't fold, that were 8 by 6 1/4, one goes in there and one goes in there. Then we've got these two which were 4 by 9 1/4. They go in there and there. Just unglue that bit. There we go. Then on the front here, we've got these two that didn't need scoring. They go in there. And then these half pieces, these go one in there like that. Okay. And one in there like that. Okay, cool. So that's all of that put together. Now, if you're going to decorate it, just remember, I really wouldn't decorate up your photo mats until the very end. That would be my thoughts. So decorate up all the base of the page. And then next week we'll come back and we'll do that side of it. Okay? So I'm going to decorate mine, but I'm not going to do it in class. We'll be here all night if I do. So I'll decorate that up. I might take some photos for you if you're really lucky. And I think that's it. Next Wednesday, I think, I need to just double check, but I think next Wednesday at 6 o'clock UK time, which I think is 1 o'clock Eastern Standard, I'm going to be chatting to Cherie about the cruise. So if you want to come and watch that, I'll put some information up on my page anyway about that. And I think for this week, that's probably about it. We've got a crop on Saturday, and I might well do it. Well, I don't know whether I'll be able to do it live. It depends on what the signal's like. It keeps thwarting me over at Dunstan. My friend Vicky, who you'll know from the Bijou Book Nook, is doing a junk journal class. And I've signed up to do the class. And I've never made a junk journal before, so that's going to be loads of fun. I'm really excited about it. So we've got that going on a Saturday. So even if I don't manage to do a live, I'll definitely show you some pictures because that's going to be really cool. And then, yeah, that next Wednesday, we'll do the other side to this, and I will let you know about the cruise chat. All right, then, guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we'll see you really soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.